12 and a half get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals. I like my truth uncensored. My whole network viral. 12 and a half get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I'm your brother Oga from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sam and Viral Hip Hop News. It's a Thursday. What a beautiful day to be living, man. Another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
What up, Sam, man? We in the building today, man. Counting down to our episode tomorrow night, Friday night. But yeah, man, we in here today. We want to say peace to everybody who rocks out with the podcast, whether it be on YouTube, Spotify, Google Play. We in the building. We about to deliver your top hip hop news as we always do. But Sam, man, how was your day off yesterday, man?
It was good, man. But I love being in here. I love working, man. I love the grind. More success by the day, man. Humbled by the day. We love what we do. Salute to everybody that was listening on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and all major online outlets. And of course, on the three platforms, Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored, and of course, the Uncensored Truth Podcast. Oh God, man, let me know how your day was and to get the people to line up this evening.
Oh man, it was a great day, man. Anytime it's sunny, I'm good. But, making a lot of strides, as you know, behind the scenes. So we're excited about that. BET Awards coming up in June. So definitely expect to see us out there in June for the BET Awards. We're going to have a lot of good footage that we're going to bring back as a special treat for y'all. But today, man, the lineup is pretty explosive like it always is, because that's how we do it. But DJ Khaled, man, opened and wrote a letter to Nipsey, a small little letter, and talked about some music that he's going to be releasing. So that's real dope. Also, yesterday, I think it was, Lord Jamar called out Eminem, had some words about Eminem. We're going to talk about that today. Also, Monique speaking out about Steve Harvey being removed from his network, and as well as a few other things. I know you got a few other things queued up over there today, and whatever comes in, as we're recording today, we will be adding that to the lineup, as we always do. So yeah, man, we fired up, we poised, and we ready. Indeed,
man. We love what we do, man. Salute to everyone, like I said, that listens, that watches the content. We just humble, man. LA coming up, the BET Awards. That's fucking, man, can't wait for that. But yeah, I ain't gonna let the people wait no more. Let's get to it.
Yeah, we're gonna get to this, because earlier today, man, DJ Khaled surprised everyone, and he said this. He said, "Recently, I embarked on a soul-searching journey down a road I never thought I would travel in a million years. It began when a tragedy robbed the world of an enlightened soul, a brother, a father, a partner, and my friend, Nipsey Hussle. Just days prior, he, meaning Nipsey, shared his energy and positivity with me on a video set for a song called Higher. After much prayer and reflection, and with the full blessing of the Ashadone family, I'm sharing that moment with the world." The very title of the song reminds us that vibrating on a higher level was the essence of Nipsey's soul. It is in this spirit of moving forward, of preserving his mission, that I, my co-writers, producers, and label partners are donating 100% of the proceeds from Higher to Nipsey's children, Emily and Cross. He goes on to say, "The marathon continues with love, Khaled." Now, before we came in today, we actually, just went over that, in the pre-production, and we both sat up here and said, like, yo, I felt this, because we know that both of us agreed that we didn't really, connect with Khaled. But when we read these words, we was like, yo, this is real dope. Definitely can't wait to hear, the music that's going to come out. But this gesture right here is definitely, I think, a great one. So salute to Khaled for that. But Sam, man, what do you think about DJ Khaled posting this up on his Instagram today, saying that him and Nipsey has some music that's going to come out?
I'm glad to hear it. Well, I knew about the song Higher. I heard about the song Nipsey, John Legend on the Khaled album. It's a lot of people, and like we were saying in the pre-production, a lot of people respect this dude. A lot of people. So you kind of get that out of the way, at a little personal vibes you may get from afar, because we're not sitting there across from the brother day by day. We don't get to speak to him. We're just looking at somebody that we see off the phone. So we genuinely don't know. But to see a gesture like this after everything's going on, all of the circus is kind of dying down. And as we're starting to get into the whole legal side of it, this is great to see. Now we're looking at the battle going on between the young his daughter's mom and his family. and that's looking like it's getting kind of dirty and kind of nasty, and that's unfortunate. So to be able to see something like this, even though we know Nipsey has something in place for his children, this is a great honor to see, especially it being Nipsey's song and it being such a powerful song. I heard it was a tearjerker, and people, it's going to touch emotions early. So
really,
yeah.
Okay, and then when is when it's going to be released? Or
Thinking Khaled's album drops soon. Let me look that up.
Right,
Khaled's release date, because I've been hearing about it, and a lot of people, they've been saying that this album needs to come out.
Yeah,
because it's real music, and it surprised me, man. DJ Khaled is doing his thing. He's winning.
Yeah, no doubt.
May 17th, so tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Shit drops tomorrow.
Right on time. The message comes out right on time. That's gonna come out tomorrow. So if you got Tidal, I think Apple and all that, and
Spotify,
it's all gonna be on there. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be real dope. Can't wait to hear that. And tomorrow night we'll probably definitely be giving our review on that song. But yeah, man, this is a great gesture. Now I know earlier on, a lot of the family didn't want to take any of the proceeds from people. If I'm not mistaken, I think a few people reached out and said that they wanted to do a charity. But I think this one is in love, obviously, because it's Nipsey's body of work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That they have here, and he's going to make money. I love it, man. I love this. It's a shame, not a shame, but we also can kind of talk about a little bit. His store reported, or as the state pretty much reported, that his store made, the Marathon store, made $10 million in sales, you know what I mean, since he died. That's a lot of money. That's a lot, man. So what do you think about that as well? Them making $10 million. They definitely ain't over their head, man.
It's a blessing over there. And that's what I was saying. And we were talking about the orders being delayed. You got to imagine such a small storefront being hit with such devastating news of Nipsey passing away. You got to understand probably the day-to-day operations that he was going along and taking care of that business. Now all of that shut down, on top of the massive amount of orders they just received in love and support. Now it's like, oh shit, this is great, but we don't have enough, SKUs to manufacture this whole order that we got going on. It's going to have to be delayed. It is what it is. $10 million. Whew. You got some money to grab some more shipments. So people, be patient. Your stuff is coming in tenfold. And if you really care about Nipsey, like a lot of us do, it's coming. So it's a great thing. Even to talk back on Khaled though, because speaking on that, a lot of disingenuous people like to ride waves. And it was no different with Nipsey's passing. We talked about people on social media. We talked about people out here just clout chasing and things like that. And we also talked about people wanting to grab his clothing just to wear it, just to show it on the IG, to ride the wave. Khaled seemed very, very genuine.
Definitely. Very genuine.
And even the money, even though we heard about his family not wanting money, we heard about Reggie Bush starting to go fund me, and then people coming out against that and him shutting that down just because he didn't want to have any black guys. It was a whole big ordeal. His body of work is being honored, and his family is guaranteed to get that money. That's a great gesture, man.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, a lot of times we can sit back and say, it might not be, it could be clout, and you can obviously see it with a lot of people, but this one obviously, is, they working together. So, you put the work out there, and I think it's going to shoot to the top of the chart, especially if everybody's, saying it's going to be emotional like it is. And we already know that Nipsey is a great artist. So I'm expecting this, like I said, to go straight to the top as soon as this one drops.
Nipsey John Legend is probably, that's going to be a banger.
Yeah, definitely.
They're going to deliver. Let me segue into this, God, because we're speaking on some of the people that were very vocal after Nipsey's death, a lot of the celebrity, and one of them being Game. Now, Game is on social media, been dropping a post on Nipsey Hussle ever since his passing, one day till I fade away. And he's taking criticism for it. Some on this podcast, some from me, as far as wanting to seek attention. He said something on his platform today that caught my attention, and I wanted to speak on it because it gave me a little bit of a different perspective. I want to get your perspective on it.
Yes,
he wrote a lengthy post, so I'm only going to read a little bit of it. It says, "One Nip post a day till I fade away. I did it in pure intentions of honoring my homie and his memory as I know him, and he would have given his heart to servicing my memory if the same had happened to me. I didn't think of how its consistency would make those closest to him feel as my post have a long reach. In no way, shape, or form did my posting my nigga daily do anything for me outside of making it harder for even myself to accept the reality of his passing. But as the days and posts grew, I saw the positive effect it had on the many people who read them, and that gave me a lot of joy. So I continued them. I am now at a crossroads of what to do or how to continue these motivational posts, service bro's memory, and give those whose wounds are reopened with every reminder their tranquility. I could bring myself to, and I have my own marathon to continue in his memory. I think the best option for me at this point would be to maybe do it once a week and call it Marathon Mondays. Let me know what you think. And I will use the other 6 days a week to continue giving you daily motivation and hope that it will give you the same fuel the previous posts have. Use today as a reminder of how short life is and seize the moment, for tomorrow is not promised to any of us. In any part of the above mentioned disappoint you, my apologies. I come to you in my most humble state, asking you truly find understanding in my decisions. Hashtag the marathon continues. Oh God, what's your thoughts, man?
I mean, again, I'm feeling that, from obviously it seems like he's been getting a lot of backlash, for continuing to honor Nipsey. But you sit back and you say, like, all right, that's what I said. People can say that it's clout chasing and this, that, but what are you really getting? That he don't already have at this point. He's not gonna make no money like that. He might get a few more followers, a few comments, and the blogs might talk about you a few more times in the year. But it's like, what are you really getting out of it? And then we can't sit up here and be so judgmental and dictate how people are going to mourn or remember somebody. You know what I mean? That was his dude. They was cool. I mean, they spoke about each other on numerous occasions. So, I mean, in the way that he died, it hurt everybody. People that didn't even know this dude felt it for reals, because we're human. Not because people are trying to clout chase or do this or that, because we're human beings. We forget that. Like, we got real feelings. And when we cease to be, you got people that watch movies. Your girl be watching a movie and it's not even real, but something happens and they bust out crying. Right. It just happens. So, salute the game for that. Now, early on may have looked like that, but I think, personally, that he's just really trying to honor, a friend, and he's hurt badly, that this had to happen. And it's probably going to take him a while, to get over, this. So I think we need to fall back off a game. And I think that he himself saying that he's going to maybe make it Marathon Monday, it's kind of like maybe the pressure's getting to him a little bit. Like he wants to fall back a little bit from it, because I don't care what you say. Enough people start saying stuff, enough is going to get to you. So, yeah, but I think that he's genuine, man.
Oga, one of the things I pride myself when we started this podcast is being open and honest. And a lot of the times when I was trying to find opposition, because me and you can't always agree, I go to my genuine feeling. And if I don't agree with something genuinely, or if I don't understand something, I usually oppose it. One of the things that I don't understand is social media in 2018, 2019. It's something that I've never really gravitated to or understand its importance. I understand that we need it out here. It's a driving force. It's great and all that. But too many people look to that for validation, and that bothers me. I don't understand how people can sit back and be programmed by so many things that they say and let it cause a reaction, or feel as though they need to pick this up every time they do something in their life, just to seek validation. In my mind, that's seeking attention. I could be wrong in that, because I don't understand that. That doesn't make them wrong. That just makes them today's age. Game is my age, but he is an evolution of today's prodigy. So he may have been moving with the age and be reacting in the way that he reacted. Me not understanding that, I automatically looked at it as, man, he's motherfucking seeking attention. How is he not? Dude's on his phone going off. I would never do that, but that's me.
It's part of the day and age as well. When we talk about that, the social media thing, it's just a lot of the entertainers now live their life through that, as well. So it's just like, of course they're going to get on. It may have looked extra a lot with a lot of people, but I think a lot of people are looking for that reaction. They're like, yo, I want the world to post me talking about my man Nipsey, or going at Kodak for talking about my girl Lauren and my man Nipsey. I want this to happen. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's like that for real.
It's wanting that, and just take all names and all things aside, because a lot of people want it. That's the world we live in. Yeah, it's wanting that.
Knowing it's going to happen, though. It's going to happen.
You want it to happen, like you said. You drop the video knowing that it's going to fucking and fly, and that's what you genuinely want. Right? Did that take a little bit of authenticity away to you?
How else would you do it? You know what I'm saying? I understand the thing about hitting somebody behind the scenes or whatever, cool with the TI, but like with the game, how could we take it for granted that Game even has his Kodak Black contact information? he might not even fuck with him. So the next thing to do is going to be go on social media, turn your phone on in front of your 1 million plus people and say, look, nigga, F you. You know what I'm saying? You should have never said that. Boom, boom. When I see you, so and so is going to happen. Okay, TMZ's on it. Boom, boom. All the blogs start to cover it. Now it's a story for a couple days. It gets whatever, views on there. And the point is made. Now the person sees it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, call it what you want. The message gets across, I think.
I think ego runs that sometimes still. And I don't know if I'll ever back off of that. Just in my mind, I'm just going, damn.
Do you think it takes away from the authenticity of the person when they do it?
Do I think it takes away? No, I don't. And I can honestly sit here and say that I've changed my perspective on that, because 3 months ago, 2 months ago, I'd have been all out saying, hell yeah, it takes away from his authenticity. But what I've had to understand is everybody's not me and I'm not everybody. So just because you perceive it, I perceive it the way I wouldn't do it, doesn't mean you won't. Right. And a lot of people in this generation, it's how they fucking move. So when you tell me he didn't have a way to contact him, I even think, well, damn, you on IG? DM him. But then what, you gonna screenshot that and show that to the world too? It's like, man, do we have to show everything? I guess I'm just private at heart, to where if I have an issue with you, I'm gonna hit you privately. If you have an issue with me, I would hope that you would hit me privately, even though the day and age we live in, 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna happen.
But but my thing is, like, what if you're the game? What would be the benefit of you hitting them privately? Like, just saying that, like, fuck it, I'm doing this shit in the public. He already offended, so why try to make it cordial after he already offended? You know what I'm saying? Your people.
This is why
I'm just asking. I don't know.
All right, I take it from a perspective of me being 35, which is game is at least 35. It may be older than 35, 36, 37. And a 21-year-old Kodak Black. I put both of my shoes on. 35 and 21.
He's still a man.
I was still we both were still men, but we both made dumb decisions that somebody could have checked us on, so we would have moved different. He's in the public eye now, doing real dumb shit. We still see him doing shit that's getting him in trouble. And he needs guidance. He needs somebody to steer him away. So I would just hope in that situation, even though you're full of emotion and this just happened and it's fresh, that you could just take it as a man and go, I was 21 once. Let me text this motherfucker and let him know what's good. The fact that they reacted so quickly to jump on their phone made me just go.
Now, if he didn't respond, would you then go in?
Yes.
All right, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hit him up,
and you wouldn't have much time, nigga, because you saw it.
Right, exactly.
About
a day or two, maybe.
A day.
Right.
You got a day.
Right.
To let me know something because you saw it.
So would you make him apologize or what? Would you just like, yo, you got to come apologize for that? Would you say, nigga, fuck you, I'm not apologizing?
Then we going on wax. Or the next time I see, if this was me,
right?
The next time I see you, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
Right.
Because now we've crossed the line. It's time to work. I'm not texting anything else. And if it's on camera, it's on camera. If it's not, it's not. But I know I have to take care of that business. The back and forth on the camera, it just makes it seem real WWE-ish to me. Yeah. Because then we get the blogs and everything, and they start running to it. And I mean, we run to it. Did you see
Cardi B? She put a video out. And she was pretty much going in on the blogs, and she was kind of talking about mainly the Shade Room. But then she kind of talked about how people kind of the blogs, benefit off of it, the beefs and whatnot. And if she said if the black blogs cover the beef and whatnot, how could you expect the white blogs not to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, as if we're setting the precedent in this whole media thing. So what do you think about that? She also blamed the media, the blogs, for the Kodak Black and T.I. fueling it, igniting the beef, which is certainly true to a certain extent, but it comes with the territory. It's like, all right, you're on a football field, you might get a concussion. You know what I mean? You might break a leg. This comes with the territory. This is what it is. But what do you feel about what Cardi B said?
I agree to a certain degree, but then I also disagree. And this is how I disagree. They're calling commentary that they had to see. You had to do it for them to say it and see it and do it, right? And that gets a lot of attention because you react off of that. Where's the positive reaction when people out here do positive things on you and give you positive reinforcement?
She don't see that because she spoke on that. She don't see them, in particular the Shade Room, covering anything positive on her.
Well, if you're giving the negative attention, people are going to run to that. You are a force. You're dominant. So Shade Room can post whatever they want. If Cardi B went on her live and had her 300,000, 400,000, I don't know how many people she has in there, and said nothing about that, and shouted out the people on the blogs that did do her up, imagine where that would go.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Imagine where that energy would go.
Right.
And I think that, and I don't want to say that Cardi's biting her hand and feed it because she put in work, she did her thing,
Ooh.
but the people that kind of
that's a good point too.
stored her along the way
Yeah.
were these same people she's now mad at. And I don't agree with a lot of what these bloggers do, because we were talking about it. Does everything have to be on wax? And it's like, yo, I forgot what blog post put it. Like in particular, like the Instagram blog post, they were saying that, I mean, everything's good. If you don't want it to be out, don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that necessarily, because
Right.
there's some level of privacy and they don't have any fucking shame. And they're out here putting everything on. Like they got
It's
the hot
America,
knots, they got this, they got that.
Yeah.
Everything's put on the pedestal. I don't agree with that. I hear you on that. But I mean, don't get mad at them when they do the bad, when they got you to where you are.
But my thing is, all right, so in any industry, it's like that. Like you got to come in and there's certain things that are to be taken advantage of. Now, let's talk about what Cardi B does. She comes in and pretty much comes in and tells her life story. You know what I mean? But in that, she's talking about being a stripper, sticking up cats, whatever she did in the past and whatnot. So we could say the same thing about Cardi. Like you coming in and, you know what I mean, you exploiting and turning kids to do this, saying it's okay to be a stripper, or talking about, you know what I mean, you used to do this in the background. We could do this. We could play that same game. You know what I mean? Your lyrics ain't all up to par like that and shit. You know what I mean? To whereas, you know, we could say that everything you do is positive, because you look at it, you got 3, 4, 5, 6, and even older year old kids listening. See every word on the radio, even if it's blanked out, they're listening to what Cardi's saying, and Cardi's message ain't one of an uplifting one for kids. As a matter of fact, you don't want your children listening, your daughter especially, to her nasty music or whatever. Now, if you're an adult or whatnot, you party and whatnot to whatever, we understand, but you won't want your kids listening to that. So at the same time, you also made a good point. A lot of these blogs build these people up and keep them hot throughout the year and whatnot. People wouldn't even care or know if it wasn't for some of these blogs that have tens millions plus, that do hundreds of millions of views, you know, per month. And that's continuing now, you know, to promote these people. I will say is that you do have a lot of them, though, that do so much of the negative reporting that it makes it very, you know, credible for Cardi to call them out. Like you can't even argue against it.
It drowns out the positive.
Yeah, because they cover every little thing, no matter what.
It's almost at a point. My bad to cut you off, but it's almost at a point where it's like, for all your 14 negative, fuck your positive. Just keep it. Keep it there. Don't spit in my face and throw anything nice up on me now. Yeah. So I can understand where her anger comes from, and like I said, they're living in a different age. This is what got her hot. She's living right on the camera in front of everybody. This is her genuine, and she's gonna speak on things that genuinely frustrate her. I wish and I hope that through her evolving in this game, because I think that, and like we said last year, because I don't think either one of us saw Cardi being here as far as even rap is concerned going into 2019. So salute to her for proving us both wrong on that. But what I did see and what you did see is her evolving. And her getting into acting and doing things like that, which I still see. So hopefully in her evolution, she can kind of ignore.
She got the stripper movie coming out with J-Lo.
What?
The stripper movie.
What?
They was all strippers in that movie, man. They got coming out, but yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. But I mean, hopefully she evolves throughout the years.
And it's not like you saying we have anything again, because you got some strippers out there who go in, they make their living and whatnot, and they do what they do. But you also got some ratchet ass strippers out there that sleep around and stick dudes up and set guys up. So that is what it is. A lot of them do it to go through college, and we all know the story. You know what I mean? But some of them is just.
And to be fair to our women perspective, there's some very ratchet ass men too. We're not.
I mean,
discounting them as well.
Yeah.
It was just the topic of conversation. Don't get on us.
Right.
We know some ain't shit motherfucking dudes out here too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not too here.
Right. Yeah, the women gonna love that.
That's the truth though. I mean, men ain't shit. I mean, women ain't shit. Yeah. But men ain't shit for maybe not the reasons that women think that they. I don't agree with why women say we ain't shit. I know we ain't shit for other reasons. But you know what I mean? But they ain't got nothing to do with why they think. So a certain degree, but to stop, because we gonna get to this little understanding, man. Nature's law versus people's law, very different. Yeah. And women ride with people's law like a motherfucker. And men tend to just go with what's natural to them. Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion on a whole other day, man. Ain't that the truth? But yeah, man, definitely great segment right there. You're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sam Ant sitting over there. If you're listening on YouTube, I need you to do us two favors. Go ahead and smash that like button
right on the screen. If you get a chance, go ahead and share this video with at least one other person. I want to turn our attention to Lord Jamar the other day. This was kind of overlooked by a lot of people, but we said, no, we got to talk about him. He sat down, but I think the name of the channel here is Rapmatic here, and it says Battle Code there. And he spoke about Eminem. I'm gonna play a short clip, and then we're going to talk about this, and we're going to leave the link to this full video in the description box if anybody wants to see the full interview. But here's a short clip of Lord Jamar talking about Eminem.
The fucking talk about this shit and tell you what the fuck is what. So with that said, my thing about Eminem and all that, and I hate even bringing his fucking name up, but my thing about this motherfucker is you can't crown somebody king and circumvent the true kingdom. You see, like white people will crown Eminem king because he sold the most records out of all rappers. But when we go into everyday life of black people, the people who are the originators of this shit, we don't fucking listen to Eminem. Okay? We don't listen to Eminem. We don't go to the gym and turn on Eminem. We don't turn on Eminem on the way to the club. I'm talking live niggas now. I don't know about corny niggas. I'm talking about live niggas. Hold up. Let me finish going. All right, we don't fuck. You don't hear Eminem in the club unless he's fucking with somebody else on the fucking record. They don't play Eminem in the club. In the tavern, they play him. Not in the black club where live niggas go. Now, corny places, I can't speak for that. Because I have been to like a corny bar, a white boy bar. And yes, they played fucking I'm Slim Shady and a bunch of white boys started jerky dancing around this motherfucker. But I'm telling you, when you leave black people to their own devices, no one's going to put Eminem at the top above a fucking Jay-Z or a Nas or any fucking body that we see as our fucking true kings. Okay? Period.
All right, now he also goes on to say that Eminem is pretty much whack right there, Sam. And what do you think about Lord Jamar airing Eminem out, showing him no respect, no love, saying like, look, nobody really, Eminem's overrated pretty much. What do you think about that?
Supreme Allah going in, man. Shout out to the motherfucker that used to watch Oz back in the day on HBO. I used to listen to that shit. Yeah. My mom wouldn't let me watch it, man. But all right, here's my thing, right? Because I agree with him on everything he said, every point he made, I completely agree with him. But this is where I disagree with him in this regard. He's acting like people back in the day didn't really fuck with Eminem. And now some real niggas. Real niggas fucked with Eminem. 50 co-signed him, said nobody wants to fuck with him lyrically. Game co-signed him, said nobody wants to fuck with him lyrically, even though I disagree with both. Respectfully disagree with both. I think there's a lot of MCs that can fuck with Eminem lyrically.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to take away what he's done. King, top 5 to me, no. Top 10 in my era, I may put Eminem in the top 10. Am I listening to his albums? No. I tried to play it in the gym.
When last time you listened to Eminem album?
When his album came out, I listened to it. I gave it an honest try.
Is it hot though?
No.
Was it garbage? I mean, when was the last good album Eminem put out? It's been over a decade.
Yeah.
It's been over a decade. He fell off. Just say it. Eminem fell off.
So should that take away from his body of work though and say, I can understand. Does Lord Jamar come off to you a little bit?
Lord Jamar, I think, is telling, facts. Even though I have Eminem rated up, we came up on him, what I'm saying, and whatnot. And I think he's a good rapper, but when you really put him in the mix of the great rappers that we have, he just goes higher. He gets pushed up higher. Like you might have him 10. You say, okay, no, we got this guy. Boop, Eminem's back. Eminem's back. So it's just like, yeah, what Lord Jamar says is 100% correct. A lot of people would always say, well, yeah, Eminem, he sold more than this person and he sold this and that. So this, nah, I don't think he's top 20, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely overrated. And I've been one, always speak highly on him, but this is just real talk right here. There's nothing I could say against this. No. Yeah.
Overrated.
Overrated, definitely.
That's a big word. And I'm sitting back and I'm really thinking about that. And I would have to agree. But what's the but? When I think about it, it's like, okay, what do we take away from Eminem if we both agree that he's overrated? Now, I don't want to say overrated as an MC because I think he's very talented at what he does. His wordplay is crazy. How he puts rhymes together he's very talented at what he does. He's one of the best at what he does. So I don't want to take away from that. Is it fair to say over promoted, over branded, over put in our face, over marketed? Because I mean, at that time, a white rapper was like watching a white dude dunk. And when Homeboy did it and he won that dunk contest, we seen this motherfucker. He had shoes, he had deals, he was garbage. He won a dunk contest. So seeing a white rapper back then, it was like, yo, okay, here we go. Tune.
I mean, like you said, people used to rock with him back in the day hard. Like,
hell yeah.
Said, you know what I'm saying? We were one of those people, but it just seemed you have to judge them, from their body of work. But yeah, that's your body of work too, your last 10 or 15 years. And if you didn't do nothing, if you didn't put nothing out, you fell off. It just is what it is. Like, you can't say, that Jay-Z fell off. You really even can't say Nas fell off. Some of these people you just can't say, but when you say Eminem, you got to look back and say, okay, what was the last great body of work that Eminem, dropped for the world to listen to? And you will have to go all the way back to what? 2004.
Let me see.
You got to go back.
Eminem show, maybe. Hold on.
Yeah, and he has some great bodies of work. I mean, not, but definitely I think overrated. But a lot of people may disagree. In the comment section, we can't wait. To actually, dig into that and see.
People gonna go in.
Yeah, definitely.
The Eminem fans, as they should, are gonna go in. But I mean, you gotta tell us where's the lie. You said 2004, and I think you're right. Encore was a good album. That's not the last one I remember. The last one that I remember was the Eminem show was in 2002.
Okay, so even further.
And the Slim Shady LP, I remember rocking out to that in Oakland. That was my shit.
I like Recovery too. Recovery is okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It wasn't
it's okay.
For me.
No, it's okay.
It wasn't for me.
It's okay.
I fuck with Kamikaze. I like the comeback. It was I think he cares too much nowadays. He's stuck in the wave of caring what people think too much, and I think it's taken away from his music. Jay-Z don't give a fuck what's going on out here. He does what's best with Jay-Z, and he puts in work. Redman cares what's Redman, Method Man. Nas, the greats just care about what they do best, and they go ahead and make it work. And I think Eminem tried to go in and fit in the lane and went away.
Before you go on, because I remember, I'm just coming back to my remembrance now, the Machine Gun Kelly beef.
Yeah.
We sat up here and we said that Eminem
smoked it.
Yeah, he smoked him and he was back in his bag, I guess. You know what I mean? So what we're saying is Eminem can do it. I would like to see him. That's a great point that you make about Eminem. Just do you. Talk about what you've been through, but talk about what you're doing right now. Don't worry about trying to, fit into this box or with that. If you want to sound like 2004, we want to hear that again. I don't mind hearing Eminem getting back in there and doing what he did, because the infamous, not infamous, but the famous Renegade, where everybody said that Eminem bodied Jay-Z. He
didn't body him, but it was a better. It was a good verse. It was a better verse.
I mean, he definitely put it together. It was his beat.
Yeah.
So obviously he put it together, but I like what Jay-Z was saying in that joint too. His joint was flowing together as well. But a lot of people are gonna say what they say. But Eminem, top 20, probably top 10. No, definitely think he's overrated. Definitely have to agree with Lord Jamar here. Do you see Eminem coming out and saying anything about this, or kind of just letting this go off?
He never has. When has he ever said anything to Lord Jamar? Lord, this ain't his first time to talk. Lord Jamar going in on Eminem.
True.
It's not the first time. It's one of the funniest. This shit was funny, but
yeah,
he doesn't respond to Lord Jamar for some reason. You know what I mean? For whatever reason that is. Now, we know Lord Jamar back in the day, he was in Brand Nubian. So he's a legendary rapper.
Definitely.
He's an OG. He knows how to put together rhymes. He's respected. You can't go and say his word ain't bond because he's respected in the game. Yeah. But you can agree to disagree. I agree with a lot, but I disagree with people and real motherfuckers not fucking with M, because when M was hot and when M came out, everybody was with it.
Yeah, and again, sometimes it's not a bad thing. I mean, you had your time, you made a mark. People will always judge it from what he did.
He's in a weird place right now, though.
Definitely.
He's in a weird place.
Definitely. And again, I would like to see him, drop a great body of work. They would say, okay, M is back. But as of right now, no.
Does he need to? I mean,
we need to, but I like to see it as a fan. Yeah.
All right, I hear you. And as a fan, I would like to see a real just classic body Eminem work. And I'm not trying to see the real Slim Shady shit or the over publicized shit that got you on the radio. No, I want to get into those records that I just don't give a fuck.
Talk about your daughter, like what happened. We was feeling that stuff when he was talking about his struggles with his girl Kim and his daughter and his mom. Talk about that and where y'all at now. Like, people want to hear stuff like that. Talk about you going through it. You've been sober for all this time, like little stuff like that.
Right.
So I heard Eminem was moving out here in Jersey. I don't know what happened to that.
But we love to have you on the show. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah. If you ever out here, Eminem, your people see this, man, we'd love to have you on the show, though.
He say, fuck you, man.
Hey, man, he should like controversy like that.
He not anymore. It surprised you.
Okay.
People don't like when people talk about him nowadays. It's this thin skin, man.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I can understand.
Yeah. They like, because they got like, who was these dudes? Like the nerve to even, but we're fans that came up in the hip hop era. You know
fuck
what I mean?
with Eminem.
Yeah, nobody can ever say that we're not hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't. You know what I mean? We came up in the era, we rock it all, listen to him. My pop was a DJ. We got to listen to all different types of music. So I can't never say that about us over here. Maybe some of these other cats that got, grew up in Tinseltown somewhere, but
right.
nah, we hip hop.
Absolutely. Cool. And music in general. That's
a fact.
That'll get deeper.
Yes, sir.
But we'll talk about that more, man. That was a great segment as well. What else we got going on?
We got to talk about the Monique. Speaking on Stephen Harvey.
Well, we all know Monique was legendary. Not legendary, but she was on Steve Harvey's show. Got a lot of views, got a lot of attention. We talked about it on this podcast. She had comments towards Steve Harvey and his latest release to NBC. Now, we talked about it a couple of days ago. Steve Harvey was released from his show Steve, and the show with the young children replaced out of his contract. Said it was a blessing in disguise. A lot of people got on him. We didn't get on him, but we did what we do. Mm-hmm. Monique has something to say. I want to drop a little bit of what she had to say, and then we'll talk about it, man.
I
Mm-hmm.
want to kick it off. Okay? And the reason why I want to kick it off is because some of the memes and tags I've been getting has been almost celebratory. Almost. Well, have been celebratory. When people say, that's what his ass get. Yeah, Mo. See, let me be clear about something. Let us be clear about something. We do not celebrate what appears to be someone else's demise. We do not stand and applaud and say, yeah, look what's happening. That's what you get. That's not where we're coming from. That's not the stance we've ever taken. So what I would ask y'all to do is we got to love our folks through it. Yeah. We got to love them through it. And I know some people would say, here, Monique is crazy because one minute she's saying they didn't do it right, and the next minute she's saying love them through it. Let me tell you exactly what we're saying. Tell them, Steve Harvey, I've considered him my friend. Now, maybe he didn't consider me his friend, but I've always considered him my friend. And that's my friend. When we came out and said what was going on, it wasn't to put my friend down. It was to say, this is what it is. This is what's happening. And you've often referred to him as your brother. As my brother. When it comes to Brother Lee Daniels.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Talking about Steve Harvey, keeping it in the context. Basically off the sentiments that we kind of share.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, though?
I disagree.
Oh, shit.
With that. Remember on Boys in the Hood or whatever? Furious Styles, he had his son there. And he was like, man, only respect people, you know what I mean, if they respect you. Mm-hmm. So not to say that Steve really disrespected her, but that whole thing about, we gotta, not to say that anybody wants to celebrate what appears to be his demise, but I don't think that we have to run to everybody's aid either when they're going through something and give them and give them words of encouragement when they're going through what they're going through, especially if they wouldn't do it for you. I think those days, regardless or whatever, those days should be over. You know what I mean? So that's the part that I do disagree about, but I expect Monique to take the high road in that regard. But I just don't agree with that all the time, situations like that. Sometimes I think you just, some people go through stuff for a reason, and Steve may have been going through that for a reason. He says it's a blessing in disguise, but who wants to be kicked off their own show in prime time like that?
I would have to agree with that argument 100%. I would have to disagree with you when it came to the taking a high road, though. And even though, this was what we watched a minute and a half. Her show was an hour. Okay. So we don't know how in depth she went and things like that. But with all that being said, on what we did here and her just saying that, she wasn't celebratory in it. I can hear where she's coming from, though. I know she was basically, in my view, saying that she didn't want to take anything away from his pockets, even though he might have been still on some fuck shit. Like, I never wanted to take away money from you, brother. I understand that you got to where you were doing what you had to do to get the amount of money that you're getting. And even though you dogged me out on your show, I still would not want to take money away from you. I'm not mad at that. That's something that I could see me doing, taking the high road, even though I'm still throwing jabs. I'm not mad at that. I 100% agree with you, though, in the frustration and always having to take the fucking high road.
Right.
Like, I understand that it's the moral thing to do, and it's not even ego involved. But like you said, in the example that you gave, you got to respect somebody that respects you.
Yeah.
And when does it come to a certain point if somebody continues to spit in their face and you still extending your hand? Now, eventually, you either spit back or you pop them in the face with something to tell them to stop. Let them know it's over.
It's only so long somebody can continue to disrespect and, you know what I mean, run you into the ground. If you say, no, I forget this, man, I got to stand up and do something. You know what I mean? So I'm not celebrating, you know, Steve Harvey, you know, losing his jobs and whatnot like that. But, you know, I think some people get served up what they deserve at certain times. You know what I mean? And it doesn't always pay, you know, to shuck and jive. You know what I mean? In certain positions, you know, and remember, because he was always telling her, like, sometimes you gotta do this to get this and to get that. And she said a lot of people was hitting her up like, that's what he get. I get it. Because a lot of black people feel like Steve Harvey didn't use his voice to project the right image of black people at certain times. He may have went on the buck dancing side of what people call it and whatnot. So people are going to love to see people like that, what appears to be them being moved out of certain positions when they use that position, in their opinion, not to further the cause. You know what I mean? You said, you know, that he pretty much talked about Monique and countless other people. I don't really watch the show, but we've seen the clips and whatnot of Steve Harvey just kind of just taking, you know, the other side of things that you make him look at him sideways. So yeah, definitely, man.
Okay, let me ask you this, man, because I mean, I guess the general thought and the general I guess I've known the word I'm looking for, but is that he got kicked out. NBC fired him. Do you see a situation where he was like, nah, I don't like this, and I walked out? Do you see him with that kind of control? And we're all kind of just misleading and looking into things the wrong way. And this is kind of
quit. Maybe you think?
I'm just asking the question. Is it too far fetched to think that he said, you know what, I'm walking off of these shows, walking off of Steve? I mean, he looked like he was having a grand old fucking time.
Yeah,
on these shows.
Definitely. That's what I'm saying. But you never know what happens behind the scenes and whatnot, and you know, the people you got to work with, the staff. So I don't want to get into the position. All I got to go off is what I seen with Steve. You know what I mean? I can't just go off assumptions and whatnot. I just kind of thought the guy, as time went on, kind of watered. Not to say that he was ever this guy like that we, you know, think, but I think he just kind of watered himself down to the point where he made himself acceptable, you know, for mainstream audiences, sort of like Kevin Hart. And I don't like that when people do that.
Whoa. So you comparing Steve Harvey to Kevin Hart right now?
No, I'm just saying
watering down comedy.
Right.
You know who I would compare Steve to?
Right.
Who's reminding me of? Our man Stephen A. And
yeah, damn.
Loved them both.
Right.
Love Steve Harvey, love Stephen A. And I still got so much of a high respect for Stephen A. I can still watch him on First Take and weed out the nonsense and listen to the brother speaking. I look up to him. I'm like, man, yeah. And we're what you do, I respect you on the highest regard. But there's a certain level of watering down that you just cannot deny over the years. We've watched you.
Yeah. And you read your writings. Yeah.
It's bothersome because we know, and I have the feeling behind the scenes, he's speaking the way we speak. He's still moving the way we move. But when he gets behind those doors, he has to just put it on so much and thinking that's the way, not thinking that Stephen A. Smith could be taking off that 10 o'clock slot too. And that's no disrespect. That's just the
they can find another brother somewhere out of college coming up who may not be quite him, but they will make him Steve. You know what I mean? They'll find a replacement, you know, for anybody. Don't ever think that you're not expendable when you're working for these big corporations, man. And that's why we always just preach independence, even though we know sometimes you have to jump in and do little partnerships with people and different things, or you know, to get your bag, like, you know, do a show. That's cool. If somebody said, you know, Fox or ABC wanted to make your thing a show, you're gonna go do that and get that money. You know what I mean? So I'm not knocking nobody from taking opportunities, but when it comes in where you have to take your message now, when you get on camera, you say, look, well, I can't really say this because these people right here that's funding this don't want me to say it. Then you're back in a situation where, okay, now this is like a job again, or, you know what I mean? The S word. But yeah, I
mean, and this is, we all know it's a certain level of struggle when you're doing this brick and mortar and you're building it by yourself and you're hand by hand, brick by brick, but there's no better reward than to get when you start receiving blessings from the hard work you put in on.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, there's a huge bag out here, but what does that bag come with? What's that price tag on that bag? And I would never give my soul for a bag. That will never be on the price ticket.
Right.
And not to say that people have sold their soul or anything, but there's even certain levels that I'm just like, nah, I'm cool. And I always want to be able to have that advantage, even though doing it brick and mortar may not take me to the level, even though I completely deny that because there's certain levels y'all ain't even ready for yet.
Right.
But I'd rather do it the hard way. If it took me longer, then fuck it, let it take us longer. But
Right.
I'd rather receive it. And we've been on the other side, spent most of our life on the other side. And the taste it put in our mouths, it just wasn't for us. It's sweeter over here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's all I got.
Yeah, definitely. Remember, yeah, man, you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Oh God and Sandman, going in today. I want everybody to tune in tomorrow night. If you want to catch us live, we will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, each and every Friday on YouTube on the Uncensored Truth podcast channel. Make sure that y'all check us out there tomorrow night. I think that's all I have over here as well, Sandman. On this side, man, explosive show. Like I said, we'll be back also.
My truth uncensored, my whole network viral. 12 and a half get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals. I like my truth uncensored, my whole network viral. 12 and a half get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals. You're now tuned into the greatest. Motherfucker, you ain't never lie. If them people watching us like YouTube, then tell them motherfuckers